Hello Nigeria, it's another exciting episode of the Issues on Voice of the People TV, where we bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I am your host, Jerry Apeliohai. Today on the issues, we'll take a look at in-depth analysis of the events shaping Nigeria. The nation's political landscape is heating up as former presidential aspirant Matthias Sado calls on close associates of ex-President Goodluck Jonathan to prevail on him to return to the race in 2027, insisting his leadership remains the best hope for national recovery. At the same time, the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission is pushing for a review of political office holders' salaries, describing current pay as outdated, a move that has been strongly rejected by the Nigerian Labour Congress over fears of worsening inequality. And in the courts, a federal high court in Abuja has granted the DSS request to shield witnesses in the trial of 5 suspects accused of carrying out the 2022 massacre at St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo, Ondo State. All right, stay tuned. After this short break, we'll dig deeper into this topic some more. Don't go away. Welcome back. Let's dive straight into today's discussion. Former presidential aspirant Matthias Sado has called on close associates of ex-President Goodluck Jonathan to persuade him to contest the 2027 presidential election. Sado argued that Jonathan's return is the most viable solution to Nigeria's worsening economic and security crisis. He praised Jonathan's past leadership, highlighting his democratic values, reforms, and unifying appeal, which he believes could restore stability. Sado emphasized that many Nigerians still see the former president as a calming and trustworthy figure capable of redirecting the country's economy. While Jonathan has not expressed interest in running, Sado urged his political allies to intensify pressure on him, stressing that Nigeria is at a critical crossroads. He insisted that Jonathan's leadership style and experience make him the best hope for national recovery in 2027. All right, today I'm delighted to be joined by 2 esteemed guests here in the studio. We have Dr. Peter Anosike. Dr. Anosike is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He is also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. Great to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure, Dr. Anosike. And of course, joining us virtually is Dr. Eric Thomas, a public affairs analyst, consultant, obstetrician, and gynecologist. Great to have you join us, Dr. Eric.
Thank you for having me, Jerry.
All right, I want to start with you, Dr. Eric. What do you think about Goodluck Jonathan as a person, as a president, and the talk about him returning in 2027?
Well, we all know why we frowned at him when he was there. I don't think those things have changed. The reason why there are some of his friends, I must say, not Nigerians as a whole, urging him to come and stand again. One is because after the subsequent government had proven to be worse than his own. Okay, fine. 1. 2, I think the associates too are looking at their own area so that it will benefit them. So those are just the 2 things. But in real sense, that he performed truly, I will not agree with anybody who says that. But his shortcomings were very, very broad. And as at the time he was in power, global economy did not go as bad as this. We saw the things. Infrastructures were not even taken care of as well. And most times we found him not actually standing firm to handle certain policies. He wasn't, corruption was quite high at that time too, because he never moved out one day out of Aso Rock to go and inspect projects and see what is happening. He never did that. Even in the southern side, he was coming with helicopter and from plane to helicopter and down. He never passed through to see what is being showcased. The infrastructures that are being showcased were actually there physically. I know a situation where a road was done from one place, I don't want to mention name, to another, and just on paper. And they told him that it was done. He didn't even send instructions, nothing, he's just as full. I still think that as at now, Nigeria is bigger. Nigeria needs a more, what will I say now? Let me put it mildly, for his respect, needs somebody more determined, more focused, somebody that has to be able to handle his lieutenants, those who are working with him, put them on the right track, and then move people on. That's the person we need. His own time was fine, but now his own version cannot fit into what we are now. Nigerians are wild, and the economy is so bad. So we need somebody that will critically and decisively come and change it.
I already understand Dr. Anosige's reservations about the talk about Goodluck Jonathan. But let's look at Jonathan as a person. What do you think about him as a person and his time as president, and the talk about him coming back in 2027?
Saying you already know
I already know some reservations you have in the past when this Jonathan issue also came up. But looking at him as a person,
okay.
When he was president, and the talk about him coming back in 2027.
Okay, there's a saying in philosophy that you cannot enter the same river twice. That is a flowing river. You cannot enter it 2 times. Once you enter, before you enter again, that water has shifted. So the Nigeria that Jonathan ruled is not the same Nigeria now. Understand me? So that Nigeria has shifted. So if Jonathan can see the present Nigeria, he will run away. Understand me? Because he's not a very courageous person. Understand?
Okay. He lacks courage.
He's not a very courageous. That's for me. I don't like people being too
lenient,
quiet.
Okay.
Understand me? I don't like people being too. You must have. I told you yesterday, Gambino, the mafia manager, talk about 2 characters: character of a lion and character of a fox. To lead, you must combine these 2. So Jonathan was too lenient, was too gentle. He did not fit the present Nigeria. Understand me? So as I told you that he doesn't want to come back. It's just the APC that are bribing people to be mentioning Jonathan come. Jonathan has never told anybody that he's interested in coming back. He was chased out of office. I said, if it was Siriaki Dixon would have completed that 8 years. Understand me? You are the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and you were there. Non-state actors remove power from you. I know that there was a gang up, both internationally, that was led by discredited, rubbish, messed up Barack Obama, and then the internal gang up in his own PDP. But a real leader would have maneuvered it. An instance, if I was the president, that statement that Buhari made, that baboons and monkeys should be soaked in this thing, I would have arrested him. Understand me?
The way he was popular, and
Who?
what about the unrest that would have followed?
Unrest will have, but you are still the commander in chief of the armed forces. The chief of army staff is from your own area.
We didn't know that created enmity between him and the Northerners, who were still supporting him even prior to, even up to the 2015 or 2014
Because
elections.
Jonathan was told of a woman in her office who was leaking information. She allowed the woman to remain in the office. Understand me? In business, you are told hire slowly, fire very fast. In economics, in business, that is it. Hire slowly, but fire very fast. But he wasn't doing any of that. So the truth is, I have said it on this program over and over, Jonathan will never contest the election again. He's now having his peace. So let him continue to have his peace. He has no answer to this present Nigeria. And again, the guy that made that statement,
Sado.
I don't even know him. Success is about teamwork. Nobody has ever succeeded alone, and nobody will never succeed alone. So if Jonathan, assuming, succeeded, it was not about him, it was about the people around him. Understand me? The people, he has Messi in his team, he has Maradona he has Messi in his team, he has Ronaldo in his team. He has Akinwumi Adesina, he has Okonjo Iweala. So which is advantage? Buhari has nobody, Tinubu has nobody. So he has a strong team in his cabinet, which made him succeed at that point in time. So nobody succeeds alone, nowhere on earth. So success is about teamwork. It's not the president.
But you need a good coach who can select that team, because right now the coaches are not doing the right selection.
That is it. The president may not be the best economics, understand? But it is responsibility to spot out that best economics. Understand me? So a president, a leader must have that eye for good talents. Understand me? Which Buhari never had and Tinubu never had. So for me, this Nigeria is not for Jonathan anymore.
All right.
He has retired. He should stay retired.
Okay. Let me go back to Dr. Eric. Is Nigeria truly in such a leadership vacuum that we must recycle former president to fix our future?
That's the irony of it. Like I said earlier, the reason why those who are calling is in their own interest. In their own interest primarily. Just like what we are saying, Jonathan now coming in cannot handle the Nigeria we have now. I said it as Nigeria is very complex now. You see, social media now had even sharpened people's curiosity and demands. Even when you are doing well, they will tell you are not doing anything. So imagine somebody who is not doing well at all. I want to tell you that the Tinubu's government, if Tinubu's government were to be there in the past, like in the 1999 down during that time, he may not have been getting the sort of heat he's getting now. Because that time people are not really very vast in things of government. So the Gen Zs that are heating up now. Things were still relatively good until they burnt it down the way they have done now. So the thing is, Nigeria has people. The only thing is that they have put bottleneck of money. Somebody wants to go and buy a presidential form. Some parties will say you must do 30 million, 25 million for form. that you are not even sure if you are going to win. How many sincere persons should go and throw that kind of money? So that's the problem. We have people. We have. I don't want to mention them. I could just be mentioning like that. Some people that are not even relatively known by name, but they are very great by heart. Those are not noisy. They are there. So we are not lacking leadership. We're only lacking the selection or the process, good processes of getting them fished, bringing them on board. That's what we like. That system, that genuine system, that level playing ground system that a patriotic Nigerian can just say, okay, I want to try my service to the people, and then you don't create financial blockage. You will see people will come. But today, even ordinary, what is the councillor something, you see, they tell somebody who has no money to go and be buying form of how much, depending on the party. So that is the problem we have. We have people, but the process of getting them is what is faulty. I'll just say that way.
What would enable such a process? Because whether we like it or not, let's look at the process that brought in presidents like Goodluck Jonathan and even Yar'Adua. I think for the sake of some, would say, yeah, Yar'Adua was also one of the presidents Nigerians really enjoyed before his death, sadly, before Jonathan came into power. What were those processes that brought those kind of candidates that benefited all? Can't we have such a process once again? What did they do differently that created that enabling environment for those who are intellectuals, who have the well-being of Nigerians at heart, making it to such position?
Yes, I like that question. You see, that Yar'Adua's one was a sporadic thing. His character was known. He was not materialistic. He had discipline. He had a modest, a planned life, and his leadership as a state governor, Castilla State Governor, showed that he had no records of, as we speak to today. Yar'Adua had no record of corruption. So when I say choosing leaders, you don't choose corrupt people. Because a corrupt person will always remain so. The more you expose him to where he's going to be corrupted, the worse it gets corrupt. So what we are saying is that Yar'Adua, if you go into the trajectory of how he even came out, let me just make one or two sentences on that. If the then vice president, that's Elijah Abubakar, hadn't fallen out with his boss, Obasanjo, he would have taken over. But because he had the full.
All right, Dr. Eric was trying to make a point there, talking about the fallout between President Olusegun Obasanjo then and Atiku Abubakar led to the president seeking for a successor, which he eventually got in Yar'Adua. So, well, would you have said that maybe it was a blessing in disguise, his fallout, or the fact that his third term bid failed because he was trying to run for a third term? And that is why he decided that, okay, Atiku will not be president. Let me get somebody who Nigerians will accept ahead of Atiku and make him president.
No. Nigerians don't research. Nigerians don't know history. Understand? Okay. We should always be thinking of the reason behind the news.
Okay.
But Nigerians don't do that. The same thing that made Atiku Abubakar vice president is the same thing that made Umaru Musa Yar'Adua president. What do I mean? In 1999, Yar'Adua ran for, Atiku Abubakar ran for the governorship of Adamawa State, which he won. But there was a coalition of of Shehu Musa Yar'Adua group, which Atiku belonged to since the days of SDP. Understand me? Since the days of SDP and the other party.
Yes.
So that coalition was that coalition that prop up Olusegun Obasanjo. Understand me? So Atiku now being the leader of that group at that point in time, of the Yar'Adua group, because Yar'Adua died in prison. That's Shehu Yar'Adua died in prison. So Atiku being the leader of that group was now called upon to come and become the vice president. The same thing that the same reason why Oshibajo from ACN became the president, because it was a coalition. CPC produced Buhari, then ACN produced Oshibajo. So that was why Atiku was made vice president, because of the coalition that brought them into power. When Atiku fell out of favor, Musa Yar'Adua was still part of that group. Obasanjo still want to retain that group. He picked Musa Yar'Adua. So he didn't just go and pick him anywhere. It's not because he was not corrupt. No, this is a coalition. Understand me?
If there was already a setup.
There was a coalition.
To make sure that there was a funnel to bring in the next leader.
Sure, there was a coalition. Understand me? So Musa Yar'Adua was still picked up from that coalition that prop up Atiku as a vice president. So that coalition was to after this Southwest or Olusegun Obasanjo to produce the next president, which should have been Atiku, but because Atiku fell out of favor, Obasanjo had to pick somebody from that same coalition. So that's what happened. It's not because he is a saint. No, it's not.
Are you saying that he was not also a candidate that Nigerians really loved at the time? Because, okay, let's take, for instance, there was a group that was set up. So what about the character of him as a person, Musa Yar'Adua, and the fact that when they also picked a Goodluck Jonathan to be his vice?
Okay.
Okay.
On the day at the convention,
okay,
the name that they have on their list is not even Goodluck Jonathan. It was Peter Odende.
Okay.
Understand me? But Obasanjo reason that Yar'Adua is a gentleman, that this guy may likely be causing problem for him. I mean, Peter Odende, he decided that to pick a soft person, being Goodluck Jonathan.
Okay.
Because everywhere the VP must not be greedy. The VP must not be ambitious.
Is it because of what he faced when he was president?
No.
Under Atiku
No.
Abubakar? He decided not to make the same mistake with Yar'Adua?
This is not just a Nigerian thing. When George Bush Jr. was picked as a Republican candidate, understand me, Dick Cheney was picked as his running mate. But they know that George Bush Jr. was not experienced. Dick Cheney was experienced. And Dick Cheney was ambitious. So there was an instruction on Dick Cheney. Any day the president dies, you die. Or this America. Any day the president dies, you die. And with that, there was no problem. The most difficult position to be in politics is the vice president, the deputy governor. That's the most difficult. You are being watched at every minute. You are like somebody who is tired. Understand me? You must not express any of
your feelings or your ambition.
At all. So the most,
your loyalty must be tested and trusted.
every time you are in fear. Understand me? So Obasanjo knew that Odinde has tendencies of overbearing. So he said, let us give this man a gentle person who will not cause problem for him. Because Atiku was ambitious.
Was the country not thought about in all of this calculation? Talking about good leaders.
Nigeria wasn't there. Nigeria wasn't in the picture. Atiku was ambitious because from 1993, he already wanted to be president. You know, he stepped down for MK Abiola. So that person picking him as your vice is a mistake. Because where you are, he was already eyeing that position before you. And he showed it. Understand? Because he was in control of the governors at that time. I wanted that to use it against Obasanjo.
Okay, let me go back to Dr. Eric, if we will have him. I understand that we had a technical glitch there. He could not finish his conversation. Dr. Eric, are you still with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, loud and clear. So,
Yes, I am.
So we're still talking about the process
at the stage.
Okay, we're still talking about the process that led to Yaradua and of course the Goodluck Jonathan.
Yes, the process was a calculation, simple calculation. The calculation that the Niger Delta was boiling at that time, and it's not the upland river side that was the problem. It was the river, right? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello?
We can still hear you.
Okay. Yeah, it was the river and the Jaw group that was the problem when they were bombing and breaking pipes and demanding their own portion. It's not the other side. I have a little reservation about the character of gentility or no. It was a pure political calculation that if they bring an Ijaman, a pure Ijaman, hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. If they bring a pure Ijaman, a core Ijaman, because all the people who are bombing, they are not the upland people. It was the river and the Jaws. So, and then they had to pick somebody. Remember, they had wanted to take Donald Duke. But Donald Duke was not that core area. Even though it was not that core area. So they had to go and bring an Ijaw man. Direct. So I think that was the calculation, and that solved the problem. It helped Yaradua to speak with to the people, Jonathan's people. That killed something. Are you with me?
Yes.
Good.
With you.
So that was the political calculation that happened. Character, if we even talk about character, was I think not ambitious, but Obasanjo still took him. I think that was the prime calculation there to satisfy. Because when they were saying the Niger Delta bombing and all that, who is the Niger Delta that was agitating? It was the job group, the core jobs. And they had to pick, and the Bayelsa is the core jobs. Yes.
Can we say, Dr. Eric, that there were better structures then in terms of how leaders emerge, unlike what we have now under this dispensation?
The word in politics better is very subjective. Very, very. There is never better in politics. It's just that things change according to the dynamic of the situation and the events that crop up alongside. So you have to, politics is not a static thing. And the leadership is also dynamic. Just like we said that if Jonathan comes now, he will not be as useful as he was at his own time. All right? So today, it is the dictates of the evolution of people's understanding and people's view and people's demands and general condition of the environment and this polity that determines things, how you select your leader. So that's why I will not answer your question based on, sorry to say that, based on the fact of whether there is better or no better. Okay?
All right.
But if it is from the side I want to take it now, the side is that simple and simple. You have to mathematically check, or political, I want to use political mathematics, check the events of the time and coordinate and key in to get it. So there can never be better. Better is dictated by the situation on ground. Thank you.
All right. Better is determined by the situation on ground, the dynamics. But if Jonathan was to be on any ticket, would he really pull the numbers?
On which ticket?
Let me say for PDP, for instance. Will he put the numbers? Will he draw the crowd, the attention that will make him return as president?
We are just talking because he would not be.
Generalize.
He will not be.
Okay.
Because you have heard what President Jonathan said, that Tinubu supported them in 2011. Understand? Therefore, they will not run against Tinubu. And Buhari seized most of President Jonathan's properties, which they have secretly given her back. Understand me? So they're coming again that to run against Tinubu is asking for fire. Do you understand it?
Okay.
So then for him that to come, even if he comes, he's going to, all he is to do is a kind of to divide the votes in the South. Understand me? Because some people will still have a sympathy for him. So he will get a sympathy votes. But he's not going to put the crowd anymore. The Nigeria that he ruled has evolved. This is not the Nigeria that he ruled. That I have no shoe won't sell now.
All right.
Understand
now he
me?
has no shoes. Maybe you have shoes to give around.
That he has no shoe won't sell now. That breath of fresh air won't sell now.
Do you think Nigerians need a breath of fresh air? Nigerians have been choked.
But not from him, because he is no more breath of fresh air. So there's no gimmick, there's no trick, there's no propaganda that he will bring that will sell now. So the Nigeria of Jonathan has moved on.
Okay, you will not entertain the thought of Jonathan going back to Aso Rock?
As I say, he will not be on the ballot anymore.
All right, let's now go back to the next conversation, where the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, has announced the plans to review the salaries of political office holders, describing their current pay as inadequate and outdated. Chairman Mohammed Shehu revealed that President Bola Tinubu earns 1.5 billion naira monthly, while ministers earn less than 1 million naira, figures unchanged since 2008. Shehu argued that it was unfair for heads of government agencies such as the CBN governor to earn up to 10 times more than the president, calling the disparity unrealistic. He maintained that such conditions discourage optimal performance among ministers and top political appointees. However, the Nigerian Labour Congress strongly opposed the proposal, warning that an upward salary review for politicians would worsen inequality. The NLC stressed that political office holders already enjoy hidden perks and privileges, while ordinary workers continue to struggle under harsh economic realities. Dr. Eric, is it unfair for the president to be earning 1.5 million naira? Does that not encourage somebody at the top, knowing that he has a lot of opportunities? How come he's earning 1.5 million naira in today's Nigeria?
Are you saying hello?
Yes, 1.5 million naira is basic salary.
Are you saying 1.5 is too much or is small?
But look at, yes.
Because I want to know where your question is coming from.
RMF says that the money is too small. Don't you think it's too small?
You see, we are even saying now that when I saw that news, I was just laughing in my mind. When we are even saying that office holders should not even collect, especially if in the house, should not even take salaries. They should take allowance. Go and serve. It is this money that is causing all these things. So all the millions they are going about 30-something million per month and all that. That's not enough. You see, when they are talking of salary, are they really relying on salaries? All these constituency allowances and all the newspaper allowance, bedroom allowance, slippers allowance and all that, they don't even talk about that. So the thing is, we should, if you ask me, I should even be advocating that they should reduce their money. Because most of the things they are using is still under the government. The food, like the presidency does it feed anybody? If you want to come first to give service, if you don't abuse the money in your hand, you should be able to give service. Please, for goodness sake, what is service? Service is you have a cool head, you have a vision, you have a dream, and then that you put into reality. You don't need big money for that. Does the president use his money to drive? The car is driving, all those air flights is taking. Is it his own? The food is eating, is it from his salary? But in America, the president feeds himself. It is from his money. And their own is about $200 and something, $200,000 something. So, and you entertain your people with your own salary. But in Nigeria, here, the state does it. Even up to deputy level, Senate level, House of Reps, sometimes even councillors are demanding. So I think the money they have, they should not allow. I agree with Labour. Labour should not even allow them move and eat. In fact, Labour should be insisting that they should come down. So that this, especially, and my eyes are on the NAS, those who are supposed to represent the people direct, that is National Assembly. They are supposed, if National Assembly is strong, I'm telling you, democracy will work. Because that's the center of democracy. The judges are just there to do that. The National Assembly set things right and do things right. They will even checkmate the judges. So money increase for them is, to me, is a no-no. In fact, ask me again, I will say let them even reduce it. So that people do service, give service.
Dr. Eric, with what we've been seeing in this government dispensation, do you think anything is going to stop this move? Because you just made mention of the National Assembly. Let's not forget River State, your own area, where they're talking about the executive order for talking about bringing in, taking away the governor and so on and so forth, stood. The National Assembly rubber stamped it. How are you sure that they've not all made all the preparations? This is just to give you the information for you to use, but not just to react. But eventually they might have already prepared the paper to increase their salaries.
I agree with you. But you see, they say, even if you know that something will not work, say it so long as what you are saying is right. Condemn what is wrong. Even if it is not taken, it is on record. But if you don't condemn what is wrong, and tomorrow you come and complain, they say, who complained? Why didn't you complain then? They can do whatever they do. Let us fight and refuse the increment. They should resist the increment. If eventually they compel themselves and force themselves in, we know how that they pass through the back door. And that is not a good record for them. It will now become a reference point. That, oh, if you are saying this happened, what when it was your own? This is not what you did, When that reference point is created, it can only be created when there is a protest or when there is a disapproval of a particular thing happening. We shouldn't be discouraged. They can have their way, but we have our say. And they say truth can never be buried, and it dies in the area. When you bury truth, it will grow like an iroko tree. So we must always be saying it. We should not be tired of saying what is right.
Let me go to Dr. Noski. How can leaders earning huge allowances claim their salaries are inadequate?
Jerry, this is one of the reasons why I am calling for Peter Ob's presidency.
Okay.
Because this stupidity will not be happening if Peter Obi is there. Understand me? Assuming that Peter Obi is the president, nobody will have brought up that issue of buying that SUV. Understand me? So these people, they will check who is on top, understand, and begin to do what they are doing. Imagine what or they say. How can you be paying a minister such an amount as you expect him to put in much work? That's stupidity.
Making excuses.
Now, that for you to run for House of Reps in Nigeria in 8 states, you need a minimum of 1 billion naira. For you to run for House of Reps we have A in these states, you need a minimum of 1 billion naira. Buying forms, understand? Buying vehicles, campaigning, understand? Because some federal constituencies have 11, 12 wards, some has 10. Campaigns, mobilization must be going on in all those areas. People who come for campaign must go with something, either a dedicated of rice or a wrapper continuously. Understand? So no poor man runs for an election. No poor man runs for an election. For you to be a minister in Nigeria, you must bribe with not less than 100 million naira. Because they know what they are going to get there. So telling you about, okay.
Is it legal? Is it the legal thing they are going to get there?
Excuse me.
Illegal?
Wait, in the last 3 months, how many billions of naira has Remi Tinubu donated? Billion, not million. How many billion? Someone that they are complaining that his salary of 1.5 is insufficient. Understand? His wife is donating 1 billion.
It could be also on the part of the government they are reallocating those 1 billion and so on and so forth.
Okay. So as she donated, she can also donate to her own account. I think you know that.
I don't know.
I know that.
Okay.
Understand me? I know that.
Okay.
So the truth is this, there's a very big difference between looking for a job and coming to serve. These are two different things.
Okay.
There's a very big, if you are looking for job, salary will be your concern. But these people are already made before running for the election. Nobody uses salary to run an election.
Are you saying they should not make any profits?
I said
They should just go there and serve?
nobody uses his salary to run an election. How much is nomination form?
Is that making it more difficult for true people who want to serve to be there?
What I'm trying to say that all of them there have gone beyond salaries. That even if you say will not be paying you, they will still be struggling, killing people to go there. Because that salary is not their problem. Announce tomorrow that no salary for the governors, no salary for the National Assembly members. Understand me? What happened that's the same thing that happened before will still be happening. Because they are not depending on that salary.
Will it not be easier to cut off all the allowances and collapse it into salaries and say this is what you'll be getting, no more allowances? Any allowances will be taken care of by the government. You don't need this allowance.
What I'm trying to say is this revenue just want to tell us that we are a bunch of idiots. We don't know what is happening. Understand? That's why they should tell you that their salary is insufficient. Understand? So assuming to give impression that they are depending on salary.
Okay. Anyway, Dr. Eric, we're pressed for time. We'll have to wrap it up here. I want to say big thanks for being a part of the issues. It's been a pleasure having your insight. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one. Dr. Anaski, it's a pleasure having you. Maybe when you become a minister, you will decline your salary.
No.
I don't know, Dr. Eric, when you become a minister, so you will decline your salary. It is what it is.
But for the 4 years that Donald Trump was the American president, to 2016 to 2020, he never took a salary, even a day.
He was a billionaire before he became president.
So Tinubu was a poor man. And governors were poor men.
What business do most of them do? That's the question.
So that's why I said looking for a job and coming to serve.
All right. Okay, from calls for Jonathan's return to contentious debate over politicians' pay and the court's decision in the Owo terror trial, these stories reflect the pressing issues defining Nigeria's future. Stay with us as we continue to track the developments that matter most to the nation. I am Jerry Apeliohai. This has been the Issues on Voice of the People television, where the future faces forward. Have a good one.